Support for this podcast comes from listeners and St. Alphonsus Health System, a regional network of hospitals, clinics, and care providers. St. Alphonsus offers comprehensive healthcare services to individuals and families throughout the community. More information about services and locations is available at stalphonsus.org. As you're making your holiday to-do list, there is one thing you can immediately check off in just a couple of minutes. Help keep Boise State Public Radio podcasts coming your way in 2026 with a gift of support. Even a few dollars helps us in planning your next great binge listen in the new year. Donate as you listen at boisestatepublicradio.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's daily news. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. By the end of this day, 2 Idahoans will be millionaires. We'll tell you how and why. Plus, we'll see how states all around Idaho will have a bump in their minimum wage while Idaho is still stuck in the same rate that it had in 2009. It is Monday, December 29th. Here we go with today's stories. The new year will bring new laws and other changes to public services in Idaho. Troy Oppie has a preview of what we can expect to be different starting January 1st, and one change that will not be taking effect this week, as had previously been announced.
Most laws take effect with the state's fiscal New Year's Day, July 1st, but a handful will kick in this week, including a bill designed to protect freedom of speech rights and insulate people from frivolous lawsuits. The anti-SLAPP statute allows the subject of a lawsuit to request a judge immediately determine whether it's frivolous and dismiss the case if so. Health insurers offering coverage in Idaho will now be required to cover the cost of breast exams for people at higher risk of breast cancer due to genetic history or dense breast tissue, and a multi-year effort to rewrite state law governing management of abandoned or impounded vehicles takes effect Thursday. Changes include requiring towing companies to post their fees and the creation of a database through the Idaho Transportation Department for towed vehicles and timely notification to owners or lien holders. It's not new legislation, but state police are raising fees for background checks in the new year by 20%. And one change that will not happen as expected, candy and sugary beverages becoming ineligible for purchase using SNAP food benefits, has been delayed to February 15th. The State Department of Health and Welfare in September pushed the implementation date by 45 days to allow more time for retailers to prepare for the change. Troy Oppie, Boise State Public Radio News.
By the end of this week, millions of workers will see a bump in their paycheck. It's not a federal increase. Many of them are due to inflation adjustments. Many are tied to state ballot measures approved by voters. On New Year's Day, the minimum wage in the state of Washington goes to $17.13. In Montana, the minimum wage goes up to $10.85. Oregon's minimum wage, which is already close to $15, goes up later in 2026. Meanwhile, Idaho's minimum wage remains at $7.25 an hour. It is aligned with the federal minimum wage, so Idaho's minimum wage has not increased since 2009. In sports, kudos to some Idaho skiers finally back home after a lengthy stretch on the World Cup circuit. 28-year-old Haley Cutler from Sun Valley skis the downhill and the Super G. Haley picked up World Cup points this month at Saint Moritz and more points just last week at the world-famous Val d'Isère in France. 21-year-old para-alpine skier Jesse Keefe of Sun Valley picked up World Cup points in the slalom and giant slalom at Saint Moritz and in the downhill at Santa Caterina in Italy. 24-year-old Jack Smith picked up European Cup points skiing the downhill at Santa Caterina, and kudos to 22-year-old Ryder Sarchet from Sun Valley picking up World Cup points this month in the giant slalom at Beaver Creek, Colorado, and more World Cup points at Val d'Isère, France, again skiing the giant slalom. Now to something that requires a good deal of luck. 2 people will begin the new year as Idaho's newest millionaires. Now, to begin with, they will have had to purchase a ticket in the Idaho Lottery's Big Million Dollar Raffle. All of the tickets sold out pretty quick, one of the fastest sellouts in the 19-year history of the Million Dollar Raffle. This year, the folks at the Idaho Lottery Commission have decided to have 2 top prizes of $1 million. They also added a $100,000 prize and a $50,000 prize, and the winning numbers will be announced today, right about 6 p.m. Good luck. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. You can stay in touch with the news anytime on our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. Tell your friends and family about The Connector and how they can find it wherever they find their favorite podcasts. For now, thanks for listening.
Looking for another podcast to listen to? Check out The Nature of Idaho from our partner station KISU in Eastern Idaho. Join hosts Peter Pruitt and Dr. Leif Tapanilla as they share fascinating stories from the Gem State's great outdoors, celebrating Idaho's wildlife, landscape, and natural wonders. That's The Nature of Idaho from KISU. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.